So I played it at listening room, and Mom was walking around the entire room, like singing the words to people, like sing it. And she's like,
I was getting them all.
She was doing the Trey Lewis
signature. Grab the KY, get yourself ready. You got some sliding to do. Hanging out with TL and the boys, maybe some critters too. So get your phone and get on the gram. You know where to find the man. Slide into the DMs, girl, what's on your mind? Slide into the DMs, but baby, take your time. Slide, slip it on in. Here we go again. DM Monday.
What's up, folks? Welcome to my podcast, DM Monday. Today is a special day. We have probably the coolest guest that we were ever going to have on this episode. On this podcast. My mom, Wendy Fuller.
Wendy!
Hello. Happy to be here.
So last week, you were in town for playing when we played the Ryman.
Awesome.
And which was really cool, right? Dick down in Dallas at the Ryman. The whole crowd singing along. We talked about that on the last episode a little bit. But you and Joel came in town. Joel's in here too. You can't see him. He's not in the camera, but I'm sure he'll be laughing the whole time, smiling. But anyways, she came in town, and a while back I wrote this song called Whatever She Sees in Me, and me and her made a video in her car. And I put it on TikTok, and it went viral. It got like 1.3 million or 1.2 million views or something like that. So we got a song coming out May 13th. So go pre-order it, pre-save it. Maybe we can get a number one for my mom. A song I wrote about her that's serious, that I think it only has one. If hell's a cuss word, it only has one cuss word.
It's radio clean.
Yeah, it's radio clean.
The cleanest of the songs that have blown up.
And it's very meaningful, and I'm super proud of it. So yeah, go get it. But anyway, so we posted the video, which TikTok took it down now that we've registered the song. Like, they took the sound off. I don't know. TikTok hates me.
I think we're getting it back though.
But the good news is that it went viral on Facebook, of all places. It has 1.3 million views on Facebook. And like 11,000 comments.
Where all the moms live.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Thank you, Mark and the lizard people.
That just goes to show you that you can never throw anything out and just know that God's always in control of whatever's going on, because Facebook, that's like the oldest social media other than Napster
MySpace.
or MySpace. You know what I mean?
It's still the
most active one. So,
but it's a song about mom.
Yeah, it's a song about you, and Mother's Day is around the corner. I don't know. I think it's not really like a Mother's Day song. It's a song about you, but it's more powerful than that. Yeah. I feel like it's a song that carries forever.
Any day as another mama's boy here. Really, there's any time of year. It doesn't just have to be Mother's Day to where someone can relate to a song like Whatever She Sees in Me. So I'm stoked that it's coming out. I can't wait to. And this weekend in Colorado, you went out. You
played it for the first time live.
Game time decision. You were like, "We're going to play this live and acoustic," and it was a moment in the show. People had their phone lights up.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos on TikTok of it.
It's very intimate.
Really cool. Yeah, I think me and Ben. I was over at Ben's house today. We were doing some vocals on some other songs. I think for now we're just going to keep hitting the set as one of those acoustic moments. Just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. What did you think of this past weekend?
The Grizzly Rose was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I wish y'all could have been there for that. It was really cool.
It was literally wall to wall.
It's like 1,000 people there or something.
Yeah, it was more people than the venue had thought would be there. You guys, we definitely turned some heads. And anytime when I'm settling up at the end of the night with the owners, getting the money, and they say, "Hey, can you bring Trey back here?" I'm like, these guys really enjoyed the show. And they were cool as hell, man.
So it was a good time, and we had we got stuck in an ice storm, so we weren't able to make it to the Saturday show, but
we're going back in June.
We're going back in
June 4th.
So we're gonna make it up and make those fans happy. So
yeah, and we were in Kansas as well. Got to do some radio stuff in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, that was fun going in the studio. That was really cool.
You and Nick had you and Nick probably had the most productive before show going around and
adventuring that you've had in a minute.
Yeah, we were like 3 miles from town, but we rented scooters and went all the way into town. We rented scooters. I think we saw everything Denver had to offer, but I didn't realize with the altitude that you get drunk like way quicker. Had like 3 beers and it felt like I drank 10.
Y'all bought some legal weed. It was
Yeah.
Jason, our LD. I don't think, have you met Jason? Our thing is Jason does drugs and lights.
He's very good at both.
He's very good at both. So it was his birthday. He smoked a lot of weed.
And his light show was out of this
Yeah, it
world.
was.
That was
It was.
top 5 Jason light shows.
He
that
like
I've seen.
recorded the whole thing. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to go back and watch that. But yeah, hell of a weekend.
Colorado's
out there.
great. The drive
Yeah,
home
but-
was long.
Yeah, but since our show got moved to June, when I got back to Nashville, I went home for like an hour, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive down to Birmingham. I went fishing. Had the best day fishing I've ever.
Yeah,
had
I
in
saw
my
that on
entire life.
Snapchat and
Those things are
Instagram.
fucking huge.
Yeah, Joel's son, my stepbrother, lives on a lake. It's like 40 acres, and I caught the biggest fish I've ever caught in my life.
Bigger than
Did you see
Beanville?
the picture
It's
of
a
that?
bass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
beautiful.
caught a fish bigger than what you've got at Beanville.
yeah, dude, that fish was huge. It was. I caught like a 8.2 in Beanville. This fish was way bigger than that. I was so mad though. I took my scale out of my tackle box, so I couldn't weigh it. But
Yeah.
I know it was way bigger than that. I was just like having an anxiety attack out there. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, freaking out. So.
But you wouldn't have been able, like, it's kind of fun, kind of crazy how the world works then, because like we get stuck in that storm, we have to turn around, you end up going fishing, catching biggest fish.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
your life.
I was gonna fish yesterday, and then just drive back. But after I had that great day fishing, I was just like, you know what? Like I could sleep here and then fish a little bit, and then drive back tomorrow and go to the studio because I had to sing. Y'all know Jake Blue?
Oh yeah,
So Jake Blue is an artist, independent artist here in Nashville, and he's from Connecticut. But we wrote a song together right here in the studio. Actually, me, him, and Mark Addison Chandler. It's called Hank Thing. It's like I'm working on a Hank Thing, and I told him, I was like, if you record it, I'll feature on it. So yesterday I went to the studio and featured on that song. So be on the lookout for that. Y'all go follow Jake Blue. But yeah, I was just like, I had such a good day fishing. Like, what was the point of like staying another day, when I could just get back to Nashville? So I drove down there in the morning, fished all day, and then drove back.
benefit of home being 3.5
6 hours of driving just
I
to
was going to
fish.
say only you would drive 6 hours to fish.
Fish. Dedicated.
Couple.
Because I always
hours.
complained to Trey, man, I'm not going home. It's too far. He's like, I drive in one day. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Dedication, man. Dedication.
Yeah, you also recently made which we talked about on another episode, like wild purchases.
Yeah.
Talk about this leg lamp that you
Yeah,
got.
Mom, I bought a leg lamp.
I saw that.
It was $300, but it's totally worth it. It's awesome.
Like the Christmas, it's like the
Hilarious.
Christmas story leg lamp, but it's like you're used to seeing it around Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's just as badass, and especially where it's at in your house, where it's
Yeah.
underneath Ella's deer
Yeah.
and underneath the Jason Isbell at the
Yeah.
Ryman poster.
Yeah.
It's like the coolest thing.
How does your roommates feel? Were they what? Why is
Yeah, what was the
Ella's
reaction?
just like, oh no. But I mean, it's
but the
easier.
corner was a little empty. It needed
Yeah, it
some-
needed something. It had a dog bed down there, but the dogs never sleep in that. They're jumping all over the couches.
they're in your bed?
Yeah, exactly. So
That's one of my favorite moments. One of my favorite Wendy moments. It was after you had your gallbladder taken out. We were up there, and JB had just gotten Shay,
Yeah.
and Shay was like full on puppy phase, just running around and stuff. And Wendy kept saying, "Down, Satan! Down, Satan!"
that dog's chilled out a pretty good bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they were chilling
She was
there.
just a puppy, though.
Yeah.
It was just funny though, like listening to you with your accent saying "Down, Satan! Down!" I was like, "This is great."
Yeah. Yeah. We still call her Satan. So you
I
give
do,
her that
and
name.
you're on it.
Yeah.
It's mostly me, so which
Yeah.
means I'm gonna end up killing the joke at some point because I
Yeah.
oversay things. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we read some DMs and have Wendy how she would answer
Yeah.
them?
Oh,
See 'em.
Oh,
boy.
no.
Pass them over here. Mom gets weird DMs too, don't you?
Do you get messages?
Not too much.
I thought you got some weird DMs, like somebody will hit mom up from like, I know you from high school, and your son, can he get his tickets to the Morgan Wallen concert? Or
Now, I
like,
get those
yeah.
kind. Sure do.
It's just like, no,
So,
where were you when he was playing,
right.
acoustic?
Kelly's.
Yeah, Kelly's down the street.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Mom? Screw the chick you wrote Dick Down in Dallas about. How about we recreate the lyrics?
What kind of question you got for that, Wendy?
I mean, if she's a nice girl,
She got a 401k.
Maybe we should have gave Mom a beer before reading all these.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to interview her first, probably.
What are your red flags, Wendy?
Yeah,
when Trey, because Trey has brought lots of women over the years, like had girlfriends and different things. What are some of your red flags as a mom? So I know my mom's got red flags when I introduce her to a lady friend.
I guess the biggest thing I hate is when they try too hard
Yeah.
to make me like them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, Miss Wendy, la 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they're just
Too nice.
themselves, you know, laid
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
I can name a few that have been like that in the past.
Yeah.
This one says, I am a Montgomery girl, and I'm not going to leave you there alone. Smiley face. This is what she looks like.
She's actually pretty good looking.
She looks like a hussy.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't forget to send in your DMs because we will read them. And if you want us to call you out by name too, we can. So just bring on the ridiculousness.
Also, send the craziest ones that you've received as well, and we'll also put those in there.
Or if you have any crazy like questions, like, hey, what would you guys do in this situation, or like a what if?
Yeah, we
kind of
give
thing.
dating advice too.
We do give dating advice. I mean, me and Bonner need all the help we can get. You know, so.
The funniest thing was kind of a live DM at one of the shows in Texas.
Yeah.
This girl was standing there and she was getting ready to ask Trey to sign her breasts.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there and she like pulls it out and I was like, she's not the one. and so her friend goes, are you his mom?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep. And she goes, well, am I the one? And literally pulls her bra down.
Oh, man.
And the security guard standing there was like, ma'am. And I said, I didn't say she was not the one because of the way her breasts look. I said, she's not the one because she showed her breasts.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sad I
But
missed
it was
this.
just like, it was so funny. And Joel was dying laughing.
Joel's enjoying it.
He's like, hell yeah.
Joel has a blast at the shows. You do
Probably
too.
so.
Is that the wildest thing you've seen at one of
Yeah, what's the
Trey's
craziest thing you've
One of
seen?
my-
I mean, just where they totally, you know,
One of my favorite memories was
am I the one?
after Mom like came to terms with the fact, and we'll get into this, that I was putting out a song called Dig Down in Dallas. I'll never forget, we played the listening room. Remember, this is the last time I played the listening room because they told me I couldn't play there anymore. First of all, fuck the listening room, okay? They booked me on there knowing that we would sell tickets because of the song was so big.
Yeah.
And we sold the place out. And then they tried to tell me that I couldn't play that song.
But
So I was
then
like,
gave you permission to do so.
they didn't.
Oh.
I was
I just said I'm doing it.
I was
because-
recording audio upstairs, and they got mad through my hard drive. So I also hate the listening room.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's like being invited to like a high society country club where you just don't belong. It's like literally the Garth Brooks "Friends in Low Places" song. That to me is how I feel about the listening room. Like I just don't, and I do writers rounds. Like that's the scene I'm in, and I'm like I don't feel welcome and I don't belong there. So yeah, I'm cool with not going there.
I
no
don't
more.
hang
Anyways.
with hypocrites, but
Any-
I'm quick to call the kettle black.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Is that something you wrote?
No, it's a cool song.
Who is it?
It's what, you talk about songs on repeat.
Yeah.
That's one, I think it's Kylie Morgan.
Okay, cool.
It's a cool song, though. They're talking about things that you say or everybody does. And they're kind of hypocritical.
You sent me that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It says, I cuss a little.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I cuss a lot.
But we played, so I played it at listening room, and Mom was walking around the entire room, like singing the words to people, like sing it. And she's like,
I was getting them all.
she was doing the
I
Trey
did.
Lewis
I have-
signature.
the signature.
I have watched my video a million times.
were air humping
I've
it. It was great.
never did that.
She was.
I'm
She was.
doing this, telling them, come on and sing.
I don't know.
I bet we have it on video somewhere.
I'm sure we can dig this up.
I have 3 videos.
But we love it.
We
You know,
do.
it's great. Well, I mean, we're here for it. you
And
know?
Trey was like, that's my mom.
Yeah. So we're here for it.
That's great.
You know, people ask me that all the time. It's like, what did your mom think about the song? Like, are you such a disappointment? You know, I'm like, no, not at all. You know,
You've traveled pretty far to pretty much every Trey Lewis show, I think, thus far.
Yeah.
What's the farthest one you've been to? Because you've been in Texas, you've been in Indiana.
Probably Texas, right? Yeah, I'd say. Going back to Texas.
yeah,
Houston. Dallas.
Are you coming to Dallas too, or just Houston? Yeah. So in case y'all don't know, I'm on tour with Kid Rock.
Crushing it.
That's like my joke.
Yeah.
You know, now
Well, and this
for people that listen to the whole podcast, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy.
when you
Randy
told
Adams.
me about the song coming out, you said you just have to think of it like a songwriter telling a story.
Yeah.
And she could be at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Kroger.
Yeah, he's just imagining what she's out there
She
doing.
could be doing. Yeah. I'll never forget.
And that's
like,
how I tend to look at it.
I'll never forget one time. I don't know. I guess I was home and I played it for you and Joel in the living room, and you were just like, "Oh, that's just awful, Trey." You know.
Yeah.
and then I played it at Burrill's Round, and it started to kind of like pick up steam and like go viral. And I think I texted you or called you one night. I think Pappy too. I was just like, "Hey, I know the song's kind of filthy, but like, you know, it could change my life, and like, we're just gonna put it out." And you were like, I hope it just gives an opportunity for people to hear your other music,
Right.
Which it has, baby.
Damn right.
Yes, Roll
You know?
Tide.
A lot of people doubted us that, you know, it was just going to be that one song and that was done. But it's hard to count the guy out that don't quit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're about to be a 3-hit wonder now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Come
see.
May 13th.
Yeah.
We got a word of the week this week.
We don't. We have one.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's on here. I don't know if you guys had already used it
I
or
don't
not.
see it.
It says word of the week. Number 2. It says need one.
No, that means we needed to put one in the thing.
What
bro.
an idiot. Why do you still work
This happens
here?
every week.
I thought it said. I
He's
thought it was
fired.
like I could just picture like somebody like for
Burrell.
example Joel saying, "Hey, I need one." Like I could picture that being Southern grammar.
We could do.
Is there
She
one?
needs.
I quit.
What's up?
I quit too.
Here
Fuck
we
it,
go.
Podcast
Macklin.
over.
What's
She
another?
needs.
What's the
Should've
craziest?
fired your ass in Denver.
Hey, what's something
There
that's,
is one where the lady needs a drink and she goes, "She needs."
Is that I'm talking about like Southern grammar, like something that I would learn by going to a Pentecostal church. What's something I would hear that I would hear?
Well, we don't do
in
that. We're Church of Christ.
Okay, Church of Christ. Same for me. Same thing. You know,
Recovery.
if I was in BFE, if I was in Boaz, Alabama, what's something I would hear?
Brill didn't know what pull the door to.
Yeah, because I was like, what if it's push to close? Like, what the hell does that mean?
Wendy
Like,
had a pretty
I
big eye
got
roll.
something. Let's talk about the way Mom says jalapenos.
how do you say it?
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno?
It's jalapenos. It sounds.
You mean
She
like-
does say that, doesn't she, Joe?
Like jalapeno?
Jalapeno.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos?
Yeah.
So say jalapeno popper. What does that sound? Jalapeno?
Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah. See,
That's funny.
Damn.
like
that's
Mom
awesome.
has a one of a kind Southern accent. There's nobody else that has.
Joel
that
has a heavy one too.
Yeah,
I-
Joel's from Leeds,
Now
Alabama.
his is different though. He has the eyes to be eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes.
See, like people from up north, like look at people from the South and think that we all talk the same.
Not at all.
There's lots of different
Like-
dialects. I've learned
Yeah,
that.
like me and you are more from like the inner city of Birmingham. So like we say ice, but Joel says ice and
Yeah.
night and
Nice.
fight. Yeah, nice.
I'm trying to be real nice.
Yeah.
I'm questioning my whole life now.
yeah, and Bonner doesn't really have much of an accent.
I'm from
at all.
Gardendale.
But you don't have much of an accent.
That's the
at all.
thing too with like Kara. I'll be like messing around like with my accent and like acting more redneck than I really am.
Yeah.
Or like, but she can't tell the difference if I'm just like being silly or if that's just how I talk.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and McIlwain's got a heavy accent too. I mean, McIlwain's accent to me is like
Like I'll be like, man, I got to go home and get these clothes in the washer.
washer.
And she
But
thinks
no
I'm being
one in-
serious. She doesn't know the difference,
And no one in our family really talks like me.
Yeah.
But we can look at videos and Mama Crow, Dad's mom, had this drawl like I do.
Where did you grow up, Wendy?
So Birmingham,
What part?
yeah. Kind of West End.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And then trustful.
Yeah. Then try
She's a Hewitt Husky.
Hewitt Husky High Stepper.
Yep, you were a high stepper, right? You tried out for the cheerleaders and girl beat you out.
Yeah. Sure did.
What does high steppers mean?
You with the
Like
band,
throw the baton.
Like the
dance
baton, like
team.
the-
No, that's majorette.
Oh, damn it.
High steppers like the drill team. You dance with the band.
Oh, okay.
But we did real high kicks. You had to,
Like Rockette shit? Like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
You had to have your boot up at your ear on our team.
Damn, I can't even tie my shoes. That's why I wear these shoes that don't tie. And I'm like 4'6".
That's great. Well, let's get into it. I don't know, Mom. What was I like as a kid?
Well, very sweet boy.
Was I?
Sweeter than the sweet boy?
Yeah, sweeter than Matt Mcilwain.
Well, I don't know how he was as a kid. I met him later.
Well, I mean, him now, he's pretty damn sweet.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Trey was always a really. Now, when he came along, he was much busier than his sister. You know, he was into everything, you know, wanted to touch everything, walk by the dishwasher, had to turn the knob, you know, investigate everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I could take you anywhere. You were a very good kid. Played, you know, I could say, now sit right here and play with these toys. I'm getting my hair done, you know, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
very
I
good.
feel like, go ahead, what were you going to say?
Just that I think you were very secure, content. You know, you both of you at 2 years old didn't take naps anymore. You went to bed. If you went to bed at 8, you slept till 8.
Yeah.
You know, secure little children.
Yeah.
But I worked only weekends and, you know, was with you a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel like when I got older, like, I don't know, 10 and up, like I just became like an emotional head case or something, you know?
I think you, at some point, school was so hard and you just started losing your confidence.
Yeah.
And you felt different.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, why is it hard for me and it's not for everybody else?
Yeah.
You know, maybe sometimes when you would show your frustration, it helped you get out of things.
Yeah.
And you would almost be like, well, I'll just.
No, I mean, I agree. I think that manipulation is a learned behavior. And for me, I learned it very early on. Like, if something didn't, you know, if I couldn't know how to like do, you know, work at school, I'd just break a pencil and slam my hands on the desk. They'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. You can get the modified test." And I'd be like, "Oh, cool," you know. Yeah. So
or
like,
you can only do 2 problems instead of 10.
10, yeah. And I feel like at a certain point that helped me somewhat, but it also, I think that's, you know, that's why I always think that I was an addict or an alcoholic before I ever put drugs in my body. It's because like that is just such a like alcoholic addict tendency to, you know, to do those kind of things, you know?
Well, and I think that, you know, we always can say if I'd have known now what I knew, you know, didn't know then. But when you start telling a child, even subconsciously, well, I need medication to be like the other children.
Yeah.
You know, I need medicine to pay attention or to sit still, or then that can become and feed an addiction because you feel like to be normal, I need something.
Yeah.
And I just, if I could go back, that's probably one of the things, you know, I would be like, no.
Just beat my ass every day.
No, I would just be like, we're going to make this, you know, modified without that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on medication like that as a kid too.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that a lot of times we're just trying to mold you into being like everyone else, and everybody shouldn't have to fit a mold.
No, I agree with
You know?
that. I mean, you know, I'm a high school dropout, and I did pretty well for myself last year. So I think and I've been doing pretty well for myself for the last, you know, 15 years, I think. But I mean, it took everything that I had to go through and to get to go, you know, to whatever to get where I'm at today and to have the kind of mindset that I have. And I mean, if there's anything, looking back, if there's anything I could change, like I would, my answer is nothing, I mean, I wish, it's just like, even with dad, my dad died when I was 26. So like, me and when I got into drugs and started drinking a lot, our relationship was strained, but I got 7 years with him, you know what I mean? And, I remember, the first 3 years of my sobriety, every time I saw Joel, he cried, because he was just so proud of me,
Right.
And I think that hard times are meant to happen in people's life. And if you're in that season right now, I'm sorry, but it does suck, but it does get better, and,
Right.
but it gives you something to be happy about, you know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, yeah. So, do you remember that time? I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know. You went to work or something, and I don't remember. I remember in like 9th grade, I dropped out of high school for a while, and I was just going to do homeschooling. Remember?
Right.
And you were working like the 412s, just like the song says.
Yeah.
And Mom went to work, and I invited a bunch of my older friends over that were out of high school, and we just were having us a big old weed den party in the living room.
It's awful.
And then I don't know why you came back home. I don't know if you came back home just to bust me, or like you just came home to come home. But my mom calls me Trey Bird.
I think I had an intuition something was.
Yeah, a lot
going
of friends call me Bird, and I just remember. And Frank, y'all know Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
He's my best friend, and he'll even stay it to this day. But Mom walked in and goes, "Well, Bird, you're busted."
And there was that one guy that was older, and he was like, "Oh God!" And I said, "You need to get the hell out of my house."
Yeah.
And he was just like,
Yeah. I don't know, but I was in trouble. I was a deep doo-doo then. But
and you had all this work you were supposed to be doing, school
yeah, I would
work.
just go through and like find the answers in the back of the book and then write them in. But then, I went back to school in 10th grade because you were like, I cannot do this. You're just going to have to take your ass back to school. And I did pretty good in 10th grade.
What still I look back that really bothers me is that, all through grammar school and really all through the junior high, there was only one time I was ever even called to the school.
Yeah.
And that was you and your best friend at the time,
Oh,
little
Eddie
Eddie,
Weddy.
got in a fight.
Eddie Weber, yeah.
And I'm like, what in the heck?
We used to work in the cafeteria.
And I said, I'm not coming up there. I'm like,
Dude,
they're like
that was
brothers.
awesome.
They let kids work in the cafeteria.
Dude, it
What?
was
Child-
awesome.
child
Dude, it was
labor.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was
We're
like,
like-
there was like 5 or 6. It was me, Alex Hyde. His sister, ended up being in the Whiskey Miss Me video. She was one of the girls in the video. Mary Taylor, right? Mm-hmm. And she's actually married to Lane Todd, which Lane Todd is who we get our koozies from. Small world.
No shit.
But anyways, it was like me, Eddie Weber, Alex Hyde, and like a few others. But there was like 4 lunch periods. Like some schools do blocks. Did y'all do blocks or periods?
We did periods.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I tried to block that part of my life
Block your
out.
childhood out.
All blocks.
I think John Carroll might do blocks.
Probably. I don't know,
We
honestly.
did periods, but there was like 4 or 5 lunch periods. So for that whole 5 lunch periods, we got to go work in the lunchroom, and we would just sit by the door on crates. And then when the trash cans would get full, we would take them out and take them to the dumpster. And dude, we just had so much fun, dude. We would just like play all the time. I don't remember what it was, but that day Eddie pissed me off, and we just got in a straight up fight out of the back door. And
I think his dad came and got you. He was so mad.
yeah, he was pissed. I thought he was going to beat both of our asses. In the
Yeah,
car.
I said, I'm not. I was like, I can't leave work, and I'm not coming. I said, they're like brothers, and his dad's coming. I said, whatever he says goes.
Yeah, and Big Eddie that picked us up is actually the guy that owns Bar 31 where me and Terry met.
Oh, no shit.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
But
So what did he
anyway, my point was that you never got in trouble.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the high school, it was almost like all of a sudden, oh, he's so behind in school. And,
Yeah.
then it became a problem. So I do feel like it was kind of like a child left behind kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with me manipulating the system, and then, you know, with there just being so many students, you know, it's just kind of like,
how big was the school?
Let's just get them through. I mean, it's a big school, right?
Vestavia's pretty big.
Yeah. I don't know numbers.
And then is this where Mr. Bruce comes in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bruce he wasn't a huge fan.
Because that's one of I love the shout out in the show.
Yeah,
like where you're like, this one's for you. Fuck you, Mr. Bruce.
Yeah.
Like you tell that story.
He's just like he just had no neck, and he was just, you know, the guy had issues, but he was fair up until. I mean, he was a pretty fair guy for the most part. He always tried to work with me, but after we had that drug deal gone bad, like I don't know, dude. These two tried so hard to like, I mean, like, I remember on the weekends, you know, it's like, we're going to the lake this weekend. You're coming with us. And I would be like, oh, I'm going to stay with a friend. And then I would just break into my house and stay there, you know? But like, they even locked it from the inside, and I still found ways to like get into the house. It was just not good. But,
I remember one time though,
like they had like a latch. Y'all made a latch on the inside of the door so you couldn't get in. I'm like scaling the side of the wall to like crawl up in the house. Yeah.
But you were always a homebody. You wanted to be at your home always. Yeah. But I remember you calling one time and going, Mom, I just have to call and tell you, I came home and these people are all here and I didn't have to have a party. And they're all here. And I said, well, Joel's on his way, and you better get him out of there because he's got a gun.
I don't even remember.
Oh, yeah, they were tearing up. Somebody had broke a cabinet door off and all this, but you were being honest. You were like, people are here. I can't get them out. And one told another one, and it is a party, and it's on. And I didn't do it, Mom. And I said, well, Joel's on his way, and he has a gun.
Joel's ready to go.
When did Joel come into your life?
Well, me and Josh were friends, played football and stuff together. So, you know, I knew Mom and I knew Joel. I mean, sorry, that sounds stupid. I knew Joel and I knew, you know, Josh and his ex-wife, Karen, and all that stuff. But when Mom and Joel started, like, I guess, talking or dating or whatever, they were friends way before they ever even considered dating. And then we were living in a house on, what was the name of that? Chasen Drive? On Chasen Drive?
No, Chasen was
the townhouse?
Was where, yeah.
All right.
But Chestnut
Street, Chestnut Road or whatever. But, like, Joel would come over and, like, help Mom, like, it was an old house, you know. That was the house where I had like my Playboys in the tree house and stuff. And that was a cool house. You know, I had that downstairs room where you had to like go outside to go in the bottom. But if you like in the closet upstairs, I had a hole through the floor and you could see down into. You remember that? It was cool. That was
neat.
But anyways, Joe would like come over and like fix stuff and like, you know, whatever. And then I don't really remember, but it was like,
well, even your dad, they used to coach Joel's
Josh,
son and you. So we went way back.
So I went way back. So I knew, you know, known Joel forever. And then I guess it was my 9th grade going into my freshman year of high school. Y'all got married.
Yeah.
And
2003.
Yeah. Y'all were on your honeymoon, and I was waking up in my bed, smoking bowls, and going to school, starting 9th grade. I was just on full throttle in high school. But, I mean, just for me, it was just like, after that first time I ever drank, it was just like, okay, I got to find a way to do this all the time and get away with it. That was just switch flipped in my brain. There's nobody to blame, you know, there's no parenting that could have fixed that. That was just, you know, that's just addiction. That's the way that shit works, you know? And then, but yeah, I mean, we had some hard times. One time he body slammed me. That was pretty good. You remember that? Yeah, I know. I hit him. But, you know, I mean, I'll tell you right now, Joel's put up with so much shit that if I was in his shoes, I probably wouldn't have. I mean, I remember my first car. Joel's the type of man that, like, he can fix anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I mean, whether it's your heart or your car or whatever, you know, like, I mean, he just knows how to do everything. And my first car was a Nissan Altima. It was my sister's. The engine blew, and we just kept it. And then we bought a new engine, and me and Joel and my grandfather in our little basement in that townhouse took it out and put a new engine in it. The first week I drove it, you know, I blew the transmission out. Mom told me not to drive it at night, and I did, you know. And Josh, my stepbrother, his son, dared me to jump this hill, and I like barely went over it. And he's like, "Oh, you pussy! You better go back and jump that shit." And I did, and like we came up on two wheels, and I almost hit a mailbox, and it came back down and like busted the transmission plate. So I just drove it all the way home, burnt the transmission up, and then Joel it was like. You know, he'd worked forever on this car, like getting it right. And he's like, "All right, well, we'll go get us a transmission," you know. And he put a transmission in, and you know, I drove that car for a long time, and then I got rid of that car, and I took his old Honda Accord. It was like a stick shift, you know, and like I think I wrecked it when I was high, you know, and he still helped me fix it. I wrecked Frank's car, and he helped me fix it, you know. It's just like. I'm just saying there's so many things. There's, you know, I mean, he probably spent so much money on me trying just to make sure that I had everything I wanted and more, you know. So, but, you know, we've all made up since then, you know. We're all right as rain now, you know. But, I mean, there were some rough years, you know, there in between, you know, between going to jail. And I mean, do you remember that time I was in juvenile detention center?
Worst time of my life
ever. Yeah.
How long were you in there for?
About a month, right?
Now, is this when
This is when. So I got.
when you wrote the check?
Well, I stole a check from my dad and cashed it, and he pressed charges, and then I got a DUI, like all in the same time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 2 felonies, 2 different counties. 17 years old. We're rocking along real good here,
Yeah.
you know? And Shelby County and Jefferson County. But I had to go down there for my like arraignment or whatever, and they drug test me. I was like, I'm probably going to fail for weed, so just letting you know. They're like, it's cool. I take the test, and I fell for like cocaine and like just like all this stuff.
And swearing to me he had never in his life done cocaine.
Oh, I did.
And
I
I believed
like 4 days earlier. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
I believed that part. I was like, he's never done cocaine.
So I go to jail. I'll never forget. When I was in jail was for us Alabama fans, the Tyrone pro throw catch. You know,
where his leg snaps
in
backwards in 4 places.
Yeah. I was in jail for that. I remember it against Florida.
And we were
Y'all were at
leaving to
Talladega.
go to Talladega. Yeah. And I mean, when that judge said they were keeping you, which I think your dad asked them to.
I mean, was it kind of a sigh of relief where you were like, I can go to Talladega and not worry about them being
Not then, because I just still did not feel like you were ready for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so upset.
Yeah.
And I came every day from Talladega and drove all the way there to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just worried sick.
Yeah.
But
well, I was in there for like 3 weeks, and then I was like, when am I going to get out of here? And then I got to go see the judge. And they put you in shackles, like around your ankles. Like
I don't think it was that long. I think it felt that long.
Well, no, because I remember I went to court, and then my judge wasn't there that day, so I had to go back in.
And then they moved
another
the whole thing to another county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there for another week.
Yeah.
And then I got out. And then I went to military school after that?
It wasn't too long when they moved it to Jefferson County. Then
he got it dismissed because I went to military school and I got high and stuff on the way up there. Like I had drugs on me, but I was with my dad, so I had to like hide when I did it. It was like Port Gibson, Mississippi. It was like an 8-hour drive. It was forever away. And I remember we're getting dark today, baby.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this is cool. This is my story.
Yeah,
for sure.
And my mom's story too. And we get there. I'm in military school, And we did like this 2-week wilderness camp, and like my whole entire foot was like a fucking blister, dude.
And the thing is, though,
They shaved my head.
Let me interject this, is that a mother knows I wanted with all my might for this to be the thing that could help him. But I knew he could not do this.
Yeah.
I knew he wanted to, but I was like, number one, he's not ready to pass this school.
It's hard.
The school's very hard, and he's not ready for that. So how is he going to do that?
Yeah.
Number two, he's not clean. He can't just go cold turkey.
Yeah.
And as bad as he wants to do it, you're setting him up for failure.
Yeah.
But I was desperate too. So I was like, maybe this will be the thing. But I knew it was. I just knew
so
it was awful.
What ended up happening is I started the schoolwork, and then I freaked out like I always did. And then I started walking down the road. I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm walking home.
But I mean, he had tried, like, he had done that long walk. He had huge blisters. I mean, it was awful.
It's like uniforms, make your bed every day. Like, it was like.
And his dad called me and goes, well, your baby boy's coming home.
I wanted out of there, so I got a Greyhound bus on the way home. I got drunk on the Greyhound bus with some guys I met, and then Mom picked me up at the bus station. I think I did a face plant, right, trying to get into the car.
And that's when Joel said, y'all aren't coming here either.
Well,
and
what happened? Well, you're missing part of the story.
Yeah.
I came home, I got drunk for a weekend at the lake, and then I was like, man, if I could just get another chance, I could do it again. I could go back and do it. And then I went back to the military school.
I drove him all the way back.
All it took me was one little thing of going, I mean, goddamn, and they kicked me out. Once they kicked me out, I was coming home, and that's when Joel was like, you can't come here. So they helped me get an apartment. I got an apartment. I got a job making Hardee's biscuits.
Was this Tuscaloosa?
And he kept going, Mom, there's so many kinds of bread.
Yeah.
I can't remember all these different kinds of bread.
I mean, I'm working at Hardee's. I'm walking to work every day, And
I mean, we made the apartment nice, too.
Yeah. I ended up long story short, I ended up getting evicted out of that apartment for smoking pot. I had like 15 crew members from Hardee's in there.
Yeah, I come in one morning, here's all these guys sitting there. I'm like, oh. And
then I went to then I went to Tuscaloosa. They helped me get another apartment, and
supposed to be going to GED
school, and I never did. I was just, by that time I was like full on addict, selling drugs, doing the whole gambit, and I got arrested. Did like 3 months I was in Tuscaloosa for like 1 month. That's what it was, because I didn't have y'all wouldn't come pay my bill. Y'all were like, fuck you.
When that happened is when I felt like you were ready for me to cut you off.
Yeah.
I mean, before, you have to realize you were really a child. And I mean, you have to, as a parent, come to the point where you're like, if I decide to do the tough love thing, I can live with it if he dies.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
And, I would talk with one of my neighbors who had a 45-year-old son that was an addict.
Yeah.
And I had to know when I decided to say, I can't come until you help yourself, that you were ready for that.
Yeah.
And when I did it, it was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Well,
but that's when you did.
When we're sitting here telling y'all this story, you two, does this even feel like the same guy that you know now?
No, I'm about to cry, honestly.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's wild,
right?
man.
It's crazy just to even think about. But so I lived in Tuscaloosa for a little while, and then I got arrested down there, and finally got out of there, and then I finally called you one day after getting out of jail.
Is this the call?
Yeah,
this is the one
I called Mom,
about?
and I was like, I'm ready to get some help. And then I think like a month or two later, I went and got help.
Yeah, he got out of jail, And I told him then, I said, your lease will be up in 1 month in that apartment. And when it's up, you have nowhere to go. So basically, I think you partied like a rock star for another month.
Yeah.
And you were like, this is no lie.
Yeah.
And that's when you were kind of just going from couch to couch.
Yeah.
You would show up at my job. And
Sleep in your car.
Sleep in the car. And, you know, just,
It was a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Just thinking about it.
And, you know, honestly, every night I would just say a prayer, just let him live. Because I know it's like I said in that, a little tired.
Yeah.
If God just lets him live, I know he's going to make it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's truly what I believe.
Yeah.
If you just live, you're going to come out of this.
Yeah.
And when you called me and said, I want to get help, I truly believed you would do it.
Mm-hmm.
But even when you went to Bradford, I knew it. They were going to call and say, because this is what happens in anything, any rehab, even physical.
Yeah.
They call and say, oh, it's time for them to go. And I knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they called. Sure enough, I'm on the family vacation. And you're going to have to come get him. Insurance is up. And I said, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
You're going to find something else. He needs longer.
Yeah.
And that's when they said, would you help pay for a halfway house? And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Mom got me into the halfway house. And I lived there for 6 months and worked the steps, and I've been sober ever since.
Amen.
That's awesome. Fuck
Amen, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember one time, we were at the lake, and I was about 3 years sober. Mm-hmm. And you go, I don't know, it just seemed like the first 3 years you were trying to figure out what you're doing, but now you're just doing so awesome. I was like, well, damn. You know, I thought I've been doing good this whole time. You know? But, you know, I mean, I think it took me a while to kind of like figure out what I wanted to do. You know, I mean, I went back and got my good enough diploma, my GED.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say, you know, when you've called me throughout your life about things that you really were excited about.
Yeah.
That was one of the proudest days. I mean, when you knew you had passed that, it was like, you know, everybody thinks I'm stupid, by God. You know, I've passed this thing.
And, you know, it goes back to like what we were talking about, the whole manipulation thing that I learned early on. It's like, you know, I realized that I didn't realize that. That's what the 12 steps helped me do, realize that I did that, you know. And I'd taken the test, twice before and failed it?
Yes.
But as soon as I went back to all my high school teachers and everybody, I even went to Mr. Bruce. I made amends for, you know, being a manipulative, you know, drug addicts, you know, brat-ass kid, you know. Once I did that and forgave myself for those things, I was able to go and take that test and pass it. So it was all just a mental thing. That's all it was. Yeah. And then I started taking college courses at Jeff State, and then by this time I was playing guitar really, you know, fluently, and went to Nashville with a guy that I sponsored, and they were like, we want to record an album. Then I moved to Nashville, and then I'm just like, fuck school, I'm doing music.
Yeah, what was your mindset like when you heard, hey, Mom, I'm going to go do music. I'm going to go up to Nashville. Like, what are you thinking as all this is happening?
Oh, I was totally for it. I thought it was great. Yeah. You know, I always thought in the long run have something to fall back on. But I totally was supportive of it.
And I thought that my first guitar was when I was 19. That was the first guitar I bought and learned how to play. We were going through footage for the Hate This Town video, and we found this video. We're about to post it soon, but it was a Christmas morning. I guess I was probably 7 or 8.
You were 9.
I was 9, yeah. And my mom and Seth, my stepdad at the time, bought me this Alvarez guitar. And I guess you sent me the video, and you were like, look at this I found. And I just watching it, and I'm holding the guitar, and I'm like playing. I'm just mesmerized by this thing. And Mom says, you know, she's like, look at him holding that thing. It's like he's going to be a star like the next Garth Brooks. And y'all are all asleep, man, but I just fucking lost it.
Well, I think I remember you sending me the video when we were on the road. I remember waking up to
it. I
it.
had that radio interview, those weird motherfuckers in Texas. But anyways, it was like a podcast.
Yeah, but I remember you said like that was a moment when you opened that video. Yeah. Like that hit you.
So yeah, I mean, it hit me hard, and it's just like, and I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but it's just like, just to think that, you know, you knew all along. You know, it's just like the song says, she sees what only angels can. You know, she sees me better than I am. It's like, you knew all along that, you know, I was destined to do something great, you know, in this world, and it's like, you know, just to think that I almost didn't make it, that drugs and alcohol almost, you know, took my life, like, you know, like my best friend Trip, and you know, so many people that we know that the disease of addiction and alcohol have, you know, I mean, you know, we have family members that have, you know, died from alcoholism, and, you know, family members that have died, and just to think that, you know, that could have been me, that could, you know, their mom could have been you, you know, and just to think that I almost didn't make it and wouldn't be affecting people's lives like I am today, you know. If I would have died from that shit.
That's right, and that's why I say that, you know, you first got sober and you helped so many other people, you know, that way, and now, you know, look what you're doing with your music and even the song "A Little Tired" and you know, all that. So. But I feel like, you know, as a mom, your first job is to make your children feel that unconditional love. Yeah. And I feel like good mothers, and there's a lot of them out there, that's the closest thing you get to God's love for us, because it's unconditional. When they see your eyes, they know that you are just so loved. Yeah. You know, and, you know, if someone doesn't give a child that, then how do they get that faith? Yeah. And how do they get that belief in goodness and that things will always work out? So, you know, that's why I always wanted y'all to believe in yourself and to know that, you know, hey, I am good. I'm worth something, you know. And so when you say that, you know, she sees what angels see, that's very sweet. But, you know, I think that's a mom's job. Yeah. You know, that's what they should do.
What did you think when I said I was moving to Nashville at 30 years old?
Oh, I mean, it wasn't, you know, scary to me.
This is what I think Mom thinks. Well, you should have done it years ago. You shouldn't have got married.
Well, I felt like you should have both win if you were married. Right. You know, but I do believe that when you're married, the mom doesn't say what she thinks. Because,
oh, wow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
that's very traditional.
Well, you're supposed to support that marriage and not interrupt, and I wouldn't do that. Sometimes I look back and think maybe I did that not enough. Yeah. But that wasn't my place to interrupt. You know, if I would have said to you, she ought to go with you, blah, 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 then you would have felt more animosity sooner, maybe, you know. But things work out for the best.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It all happens for a reason, right?
It does. Yeah. And you were there when you should be, and look how things went. So
pretty crazy, right?
Amazing.
I mean, pretty insane. What else we got on here?
I was gonna ask some of the times, like, so Trey and Matt and Terry and like that core crew, the playing four nights a week, 4-hour covered gigs, no breaks. Like there had to be some holidays they missed, had to be some things that they. What was that like? Those years of just. I mean, now we're gone a lot too, but like being gone every week, every weekend, like all that stuff. What was that like?
What you
for
need? You need some more water?
Some water.
Yeah.
Be great.
Mcilwain.
That's really nothing new, though. You know what I mean? Me being gone.
I'm saying that, like, though, when that started, like when the Trey Lewis band started, to where this is like, how I'm gonna make my money, like I'm Thursday to Sunday, I'm gone, kind of thing.
Yeah, I
like
guess
I'm out doing it.
it was probably more so just the fact when he was in Nashville. One of the hardest things for me as far as being away was when Trey first started doing his little gig at Kelly's. I had retired and did some travel nursing, and I was missing those gigs, the first gigs, and I was about to die, till I could get home and see those, and your dad was around for that, and I couldn't be there at that time.
Yeah, Dad actually got me that gig.
And they would be like, "Oh, his dad's his number one fan," and I'd be like, "No, he's not." I am. But of course, we both were. But yeah, I mean, him being in Nashville, I mean, it's only 3 hours, but still, that was a bigger change.
Yeah.
Just not seeing you for a few minutes here and there,
Yeah.
But yeah, the gigs, being busy, it's for me, I think it's a blessing. I love it.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
Like you said, I'd be at every one if I
But,
could.
you know, it does suck sometimes, you know. Like, I miss Easter. I miss this little, they put together.
Or I guess, what's it like being the mother to a musician? Like, that might be the better question, you know, because it's different from the normal 9 to 5. Like, it's what we do for work with traveling and doing shows and things like that. It's different than having the kid that's the accountant, the kid that's the teacher, the
Yeah.
kid that's this, that's that. Like, what's that like?
Well, I mean, I'm just very proud of him.
Yeah,
you know.
I think the bottom line is
He's the same to me, you know,
Yeah.
behind doors. So
yeah, I think the thing is like
Trey never changes.
I think the thing about it is just like mom wants me to a mom wants her kids to be happy, and
Yeah.
she knows that what we're doing is I'm happy as can be.
What we wanna be
yeah,
doing.
she's
Yeah.
proud of it.
And you know the way I
and she's
feel.
gotten a little famous too. So you know.
She's got
yeah.
fake accounts.
Oh, Wendy,
She's got
yeah.
fake accounts.
Hey, we never know how long it'll last. So
Yeah.
I always say enjoy the ride while it lasts.
While you
but
can, yeah.
Trey will be doing this if he's just riding and picking,
yeah.
forever, I think.
I think I'll just do it until I can't anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like that Luke Combs song. I know I've referenced it before. It's like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd still be doing this, I mean, I remember right when COVID hit, I mean, I was still calling my mom asking for $150 here and there, and it's.
Yeah, I was teasing him that I went, he had Venmo'd me some money.
Yeah.
And I said, well, hey, I look back over my Venmo, and before COVID hit, you still ain't gave me near what I sent you on
Yeah.
Venmo,
Now but like, that's the thing
But
too.
it's
It's
cool,
like,
it's just,
that's the thing too. It's like, money is not a thing, like I feel like for me, there's no amount of money that I could give my mom or Joel that could ever repay the reason the gray hairs are in their hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joel.
And they're
Joel's
covered
great.
up.
It's like, whatever.
You look great, Wendy.
a little dye helps.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah. So,
I listened to
Yeah.
a song on the way that you wrote, and I love it about you. The song "Something Out of Nothing,"
oh yeah.
and I had it on here thinking about stubborn heart that just won't quit.
Yeah.
Just don't listen. Never gonna give in.
Yeah. I'll have to put that one on the TikTok so people can hear it.
Tell me I can't. Damn it, I will. And this is, you said, how was he as a child? This is him his whole life. Tell me
I can't. Damn it, I will.
That's how I'm built, doing it my way. Going all in, pushing my luck.
Looking at 33, knowing that there's more to me than just cold can crushing, dirt road running.
living my life away. Yeah, running my life away.
Running my life away.
But I want to look back and be proud.
That I made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And I wrote that with actually Davis Corley and Jordan Rager. And Davis Corley was also a writer on Whatever She Sees in Me. Davis Corley's like my favorite writer
He's awesome.
to like write the kind of songs that mean something
They
like
hit
that.
your heart.
Reflective.
He's the
serious.
best like artist writer that I've written with a lot of great writers, even now being at Sony Publishing. But like Davis is like my boy, you know, and like every time I have a write with him, I never have to worry about what we're gonna write that day. I know I'm gonna walk out of there and be like, damn, we got a good song today. And so I'll just talk about the song a little bit since we're kind of getting into there. I saw this little note that somebody said, "What is Mom's proudest moment?" And I think it's probably this song, right?
Probably so,
Yeah.
I would think.
I had this song title in my phone, Whatever She Sees in Me, but I wanted to write it about you. And I took it to a few writes and I'd throw it out there. You know, when we first get there, we throw out song titles, and I threw that one out a couple of times. And people are like, man, I just feel like if we don't write it about a girl, we're missing a golden opportunity to write a song about, you know, a love song. And I was just like, yeah, fuck that. Have you ever seen my love life? It never ends well, you know?
Yeah.
Woman behind the music.
Oh, God.
Yes, please. Queen.
Tell me about country. What do you know about Country Boy Crazy?
Anyways, back to your
Single
story.
like a middle finger.
Yeah. Hey, singing like a middle finger is good. You know?
It is.
we're gonna
But
song
I'm
it,
saying,
number one.
that's why you don't want to sing about a girl.
Yeah,
You're
but yeah, it's just like, you know, I'm not single anymore.
I
Me and
know.
Kara are doing great.
Woo! We love her.
Yeah, we became friends on Facebook today. She brought it to my attention that we weren't
That's
friends on
precious.
Facebook.
Official.
Yeah.
This is romantic.
This is
Yeah,
romantic.
it's romantic.
Anyways,
Gotta write these notes down.
back
Bob.
to the song.
But yeah, so it was me, Ryan Rospo, and Barrett Baber. We got together one day and wrote a song, and we ended up writing that God's Tough song, which you've
I
heard.
love that.
It's a banger.
But I threw
Yes.
out Whatever She Sees that day, and we didn't write it. But Ryan Rospo, we wrote Hate This Town together with Jordan Walker. And then I think he texted me, he's like, dude, I want to write that song. And the cool thing about the way all this is like, okay, Dick Down in Dallas did what it did. And then when I signed at Sony, it was like I was writing with people that I knew that were like up on the chain of like songwriters here in town. And one day I got together with Lee Starr and Russell Sutton, and we tried to write this song that was just like kind of like the tongue-in-cheeky, like Toby Keith type thing. But it's like, you know, I love those kind of songs, you know, but that really ain't me, who I am as an artist, you know. So I posted Little Tired on, you know, whatever, and Lee Starr had saw that and was like, dude, I would love to like write something real with you. So me, Lee Starr, and Davis Corley, like, I was like, let's just put the three of us together. That way, you know, I know if I haven't written with Russell much, but I've written with Davis a ton. I've written a ton of songs. So I was like, I know we'll get a song. And then Ryan Rospo hit me up one day. He was like, dude, we got to write that Whatever She Sees in Me song. Like, I know it's a hit. And I was like, well, and Lee rents his studio from Ryan at the time, and I was like, well, dude, I got one with Ryan and Davis. You just want to jump onto that one. So we get in the room, we start writing this song, and it's like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Like, but we got to that second verse, and Davis Corley has this thing where he goes outside and smokes a cigarette, and then he comes back in, and it's like the best thing you
And
ever
finishes
fucking
the
heard
song.
of. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, are you from outer space or
So
what?
I'm guessing he went out to have his cigarette.
So he went out to have a
Yeah.
cigarette, and like me and Lee were like, I mean, there's just so many cool things that happen with this song because Lee Starr, he talked about his mom, how they didn't really get along, him growing up, and, you know, she had problems with addiction or alcoholism or whatever. But he was like, you know what? I don't have this experience, but I'm going to write the shit out of this song with you today. And like, I have such admiration and like respect for somebody that can just put their personal shit aside and just do their job, you know, and he crushed it that day. But anyways, Davis walks back in and he, you know, he says a few things, and I was like, damn. And then, you know, the second verse, which nobody's heard it yet, but we're going to put it on TikTok later today. And it's like, I had a heartbreak, took it real bad, ended up 6 months in a rehab. Sober was a hard thing till I found a 6-string. Still wish Daddy could have seen that. Yeah, but Mama did. Front row saying that's my kid.
Damn right.
And dude, I got full body chills and my eyes welled up with tears during that rite. And I don't cry a lot. I'm not a I'm not a crying person. I do it on
But I do.
I cry every day.
I do too.
yeah.
Every day.
Cries himself to sleep.
About
do.
something every day.
So-
It doesn't take much.
I mean, I
for me.
really just like lost it, and I was like, "Wow, this is a special song."
And it's so about Wendy. Like that.
Yeah.
That's
It's just about everything we've talked about today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
awesome.
all the shit that we went through, and it's just like, you got my mom and, my sister. While my mom was working, those 12-hour days, my sister would make us dinner, and, sometimes me and Molly would get high and watch Lifetime movies together, It's part of it. But, it's just everything we went through as a child, and then the more personal, and all the relatable stuff in the front end, and then the second, verse talks about my story. And, me and my dad became super close after I got sober, and he was like my best friend. I lived with him for a little while, and we were just super, super tight. And then, it's like now, I mean, all the stuff I'm doing now, I wish that my dad could see this, could be here to see this. And I know he's still here, and he's like, I can still talk to him, but it just ain't the same.
For sure.
And
But he's seeing it. I know he is.
yeah. I wrote a new song. I just did a demo of it today about him. It's called Thought About Calling You Today. It's cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
demo. Yeah, I love
So-
it. I listened to it again.
I sent you the work tape, but I put one with my voice on it. It's cool.
Send it.
But
Love that.
yeah, I'm gonna have to write a song about Joel for too long.
I love
Talk about all them gray hairs.
Hey, I love the lyric you said earlier. I mean, you said it in a thing, but you said he can fix anything from your heart to
Your car.
your car.
Yeah, it's from
good.
the Trent Tomlinson song.
But that's
Daddy's
such
always been there
true of you.
for me.
Yeah.
From T-ball to touchdowns. Fix my car and fix my heart.
Yeah.
Well, he can do it.
And then that song, the hook on that song is he's an angel with no halo and one wing in the fire. And he has a halo, though.
He's had a halo,
Yeah.
but he's over there crying, speaking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just thankful you drove all the way up here today, Wendy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm happy to be.
Yeah. I can't wait for when's the next show you're coming to?
Panama City.
Yeah.
This
You'll be
weekend.
there this weekend?
Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Frank's going to be there. Wynn's going to be there.
I'm excited.
You're going to be there. I think Saturday morning I'm going to go rent a jet ski and break my leg before I get
No,
on stage.
son.
Out on a wheelchair.
no.
Here's Trey Lewis for pushing you out in a wheelchair. Just
Bob
dick
wheels
down.
you out.
Bob wheels you out in the wheelchair.
Dick down and
Hey,
at
what
the
about that
beach.
time we went to? I was thinking about this. This is completely not at the right time, but remember that time we went to Memphis together?
Yes. I was looking. I found the pictures.
My mama don't want this.
What was that? What happened?
I found pictures from it the other day, and Fat Joel was saying, "Why did you and Trey get pulled over when y'all were going to Nashville that time?" And I was like, "That was when we were going to Memphis, and I had that white CRV.
Yeah.
We were touring Elvis's house,
I was like on the brink of my divorce. Like it was happening.
and he took me with him, and."
I went up there to speak at like a recovery thing.
Yes, on the radio.
Yeah.
But they gave us like these headsets to wear when
Yeah.
you walked around. Am I fired?
No, you're good.
Only I'm fired, Wendy. Only I'm fired.
That's a clip.
They gave us these headsets to wear, and it was hot as everything when you're walking around
Yeah.
the mansion.
Have you been to
know?
Graceland?
I have not.
Dude, we got to go.
And so, I mean, it was just
And they're just
miserable.
nasty. I mean, people been wearing these
Yeah,
things.
and I
Yeah,
was
they're-
like, Trey, I don't want to wear this. And Trey was like, sir, is there somewhere we can put this? And they were like, no. And Trey was like, my mama don't want this.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I forgot. It was like, you're going to have to wait a minute, sir. And he goes, well, my mama don't want this.
I was basically just going to set it on the ground. You know? You know?
It was so funny. We thought it was anyway.
Yeah.
What what show moment since like the post Dick Down Dow stuff? So like so DDID comes out, and then which show was the first one you were at after that? Was that Birmingham? Was Zydeco the first one, or did we have one before that? Because I know you didn't come down to Statesboro or Savannah.
No.
You weren't in. Were you in Texas?
No, y'all came to Birmingham show in Zydeco
in January.
Because mom's not the biggest fan of Zydeco.
Well, it's just dark and crowded, and
Well, no, because we played at Zydeco and then we went to Texas, right?
No, we went to Texas first. Texas was in December because that was before Christmas.
we came to Texas.
Oh, at the
The hell's it called? It was the place where they had the steaks.
Yes,
Royce
because we
City.
ate.
What's it
there.
called?
They had that good steak
Delicious.
Roy
and a-
City. It
and a-
was
and a former band.
Fuck that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the night Bonner had a good time.
The last time Bonner ever got laid.
Last
no
time,
kidding.
last time Bonner went critter crawling, and we had a former band member soak his steak in A1 sauce. Yeah,
Oh my!
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was like the dance whole thing. But for you, was it that moment, or was it Zydeco, or like what for you at the show moment where you were like, "Holy shit, this is happening! Like things have changed." Like what was that moment for you?
Probably Zydeco was awesome, but I loved Iron City.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
In
just
December.
That was the culmination, and you had the whole
Yeah,
family
that-
there. You guys had your own
My mom was
section.
there.
yes,
Yeah.
that was just awesome. And then of course I had all my
Avondale
friends.
was pretty badass though.
And Avondale, that was awesome because our friends were there.
Joe brought me my
work
boat.
friends.
Yeah, the boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Avondale was really just
Yeah.
the coolest for me as a mom. And
Floribama was cool. Y'all were there for that
Oh,
one.
that-
It rained when we were loading out, and it was pouring. But I think it always rains down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a cool time. All them bushwhackers.
yeah, it was hot and stuffy.
What'd you call them?
Bushwhackers.
He said, "Boy, he had like an extra T and a D at the end."
I said bushwhackers.
I thought I said bushwhackers.
That's,
No,
what,
not
that's what it said.
whackers.
He was like, "Hey."
I was wondering what he was drinking over
Bush.
there.
I'm drinking liquid death. I got a recovery story too. I ain't looking to relapse today.
I know.
Bushwhackers.
Yeah, by the way, this Liquid Death really is good. They don't pay us or anything to have these on here, but they did give us 50 free cases. So, Liquid Death, here's your free shout out.
I think they gave him to Burrell. You haven't seen him yet, right?
No, they gave them to me. I just made Burrell come get them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they gave him to him, and then we had to get him out of one truck and put him into my truck, and then I had to put him in my garage.
Damn, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's what he pays me for.
Don't move.
So you can't just stand around and do nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Can
Gotta
confirm.
do something.
That's right. What you got, Joel?
Zydeco hometown show.
They did when they said sold out show. They
lights
went
came on, they
crazy.
went
That was
insane.
awesome.
And
It
because
was.
we played at Zydeco about, I don't know, 4 years ago. It was me and Joe Fortner. You remember that? And everybody in the family came. We sold 189 tickets. And that up until
I
that
think
point,
Pat
that was-
came to that.
yeah, Pap came up to that point. That was like the biggest.
That was a
highlight of my
co-headline,
career.
right?
Yeah, it was a co-headline. That was where I first met Mitch Goshi. You know, he got fired from Joe Fortner band, but if he's not good enough for that band, he's at least good enough for the Trey Lewis band.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Who was that?
Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
The
was playing with
Hosscat.
that. He was playing with that other band. Mitch has a new nickname. It's the Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah.
Why is this? What is this?
It's just Catfish. We can talk about it off camera, but that's his name.
Okay, I mean,
He goes.
oh, I know now. Yeah.
He
he's
kind
got
of
big-
looks like a catfish.
He does look like a catfish, especially with his cut off shirt and his Chief Wahoo hat and all that nonsense.
I didn't hang out with y'all last week. I was just in the back, ignoring everybody.
Yeah, just drinking your ass off, having a good time.
Yeah.
Wendy, what are you listening to? Because you
Yeah,
you keep pulling these songs out that you listen to on the car ride. I want to know what you listen to.
Well, I always listen to what Trey sends me. And
that unreleased.
I love 100 Miles of Highway.
That I think is going to be. That's
Yeah.
the one I'm most excited for.
100 Miles of Highway is a song that's going to come out later this year. We got our friend Adam Hood. He's going to feature on it. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, that is just a great song. Yeah, I really like that.
Wrote it with Jordan Walker and Matt McKinney.
And what are some songs that you're what's on? What are you, when you're driving? What are you bumping? What are you jamming to driving down the road?
Well, the song I referenced earlier, told Todd to listen to it. My brother picks, and
Yeah, he
lot
was a
of
big
times
inspiration for me picking up the guitar.
He'll learn a song, so like at the beach we can sing together.
Yeah.
And I just like that song because it's kind of like comparing.
Who is it? Kylie Morgan?
Yeah. I want to say she may sing it with the guy that does that Fancy Like Applebee's or something.
Maybe.
Walker Hayes.
But the like the chorus, it says, "I'm just human buried in denial. I judge people and I read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I drink too much, but my body is a temple. I love Jesus, but I cuss just a little."
Oh, cuss a little. Yeah, right here it is. Kylie Morgan.
So and you know,
Go check her out. She's
lately
on Spotify.
I've just had a lot of things happen, and I'm like, you know, and just like with DDID, people ask me like, I mean, how do you put up with that? Your child, you know, and I'm like, I would rather somebody know none of us are perfect, you know.
Yeah.
All of us sin every day, and you know, if you didn't need Jesus, you wouldn't be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
think
like,
bottom line, it's just like it's not a dig at anybody, that song. It's just, I mean, it's just there. People love it. They have a good time with it. If you get offended, then you ain't my kind of person.
Yeah, and listen to something else.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
clean version.
overall,
Don't even watch the podcast. You
Listen
know?
to the clean.
Yeah.
Just fuck all the way off.
but I'm just saying
go to hell, you
overall,
die.
Trey, in all aspects, people are. I would rather someone be, you know, straightforward. That, you know, I'm striving to be good,
Yeah.
but I know I'm not perfect
Yeah.
because no one's perfect.
Yeah, and I remember one time we were at the lake, and I mean, I think I was going on and on about one of my sex escapades or some shit. And Frank, my friend, was like, "Dude, I just can't believe you talk like that in front of your mom." And I was like, "Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, would you rather have a relationship with your kid where you can talk about everything, you know, and be able to trust them, you know? Or would you rather just have a, you know, relationship with your parent where you know, can't talk about anything?
You're walking on eggshells the whole
Yeah,
time. There's
yeah.
tension and anxiety.
Like, and that's, I mean, I think that's, you know, the kind of relationship me and mom have always had. And I think that's why I am the way I am, you know, and that's kind of why I always say I'm kind of like an open scroll. And I think that's what has led me to be successful and be me is that I'm 100% authentically myself.
Yeah.
And you're really honest person.
Yeah. And I'm self-aware. I'm not like, you know.
But that's why I think during the addiction part, for you to lie at all was so out of character, because lying doesn't come naturally for you.
Yeah, I'm
you're
pretty bad
just
at it.
honestly out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Everything. If you tell Trey something, everybody else knows.
Might as well have handed out a press release.
He's working on that a little
Mom
bit.
can't keep a secret either. Hell, I got it from her.
Joel's the worst.
Joel's the worst.
What did
Look at that.
I think I may have gotten one surprise ever because he can't keep it a surprise.
what did Mitch say? He said, when I got fired, I told my wife and I told Trey Lewis, and after that, I figured everybody else knew.
Everybody that needed to know would know.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, Trey will be like, "Mom, are you going to be home Tuesday? You might get something delivered." Like,
Well, I just want to make sure she's there, you know. Hell,
that's right.
Yeah,
she wasn't. She was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, what did I get you some flowers or
Yeah.
something for your birthday?" Yeah,
Sweet boy.
sweet boy, trying to take up after Mcilwain over there.
Yeah.
Mcilwain buys girls
Brill,
flowers.
what have you been listening to, man?
I've actually been listening, and this is going to make you happy. Probably make Bonner
I know what
happy.
you've been listening
it's
to.
It's going to make Jason. It's going to make Jason Lights and Drugs. Jason. Well, I've been listening to the new Sam Vargas song is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
But also
Stoplight
observations, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
I never thought that I would be into like quote unquote gerbil music.
It's just a rock band.
But I mean, it's
Wait,
gerbil
what is,
music.
What is gerbil music?
They're not-
Gerbil
Are you
music.
talking about
I mean,
gerbils?
They're not a
Putting
jam
them in your
band.
ass,
They're
like,
just a rock band.
Cape
I mean,
talks
their
about?
second, their second biggest song is called Aquarius Apocalyptic, and it's got like all these like ambient noises. Like it's not just it's not like the Rolling
They're
Stones.
just a rock band. They're not
the
a
Rolling
jam band. No,
Stones-
sir.
No, they are vibey, and I feel like if you're like on. I don't know. It's not something that I would normally listen to, but I have been playing that damn Too Young song, and I got showed it to Nikki T and Kurt Ozon last night.
They're all about
having
it.
cigars. And they were like, "What the fuck is this?" Like I've shown it to so many people, and they're like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" The Holly girl I've been hanging out with, I showed it to her. She's like, "What was that song you were playing?" Like everybody's been talking, and it's cool that it's like.
When
in
did
the mix,
that
so.
come out? 15 or 16?
That song came out in 2018, so kind of that
Right before the pandemic.
Too young, but when did Aquarius Apocalyptic come out?
2016.
Yeah.
And Dinosaur Bones and
Yeah, that band's so good, dude. They like
They have
I
a
don't know,
full
they
catalog
just-
too.
It's a shame. I feel like they
They
should
did
be way bigger.
But
than
I feel
they
like
are.
that's
and I hate
kinda-
when people say that to me. So if you see this, don't feel bad that.
but I feel like it's part of that scene.
They did
you
the
know?
festival circuit that year. They did Bonnaroo. They did like the Hangout
yeah,
World. that
Jason
year.
ran drugs. I mean, Jason does.
Well, we know Jason does drugs and lights.
Yeah,
yes.
but he ran sound or something for him at Avondale. So
Oh no
it
shit.
was like during the pandemic, so there wasn't a lot of people there. But he said that everybody that was there was like super into it.
Yeah.
which I would be too.
Dude, they have a French bulldog that comes on stage.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I've been listening to Stoplight Observations and then the usual Southern rock, Texas country.
What have you been listening to, Trey?
Dude, I've been listening to just I just been in demo jail, like just listening to. I know this sounds conceited as fuck, but I just been listening to like all my songs collectively, trying to figure out like what I'm going to put out next, and like or like how I'm going to do it. Like there's a part of me that just wants to be like for like 10 weeks straight, just put out a song every week, you know.
Anxiety.
Yeah, Bonner's like, kill me now.
But like if we did that,
Yeah, it'd be like,
if we did that, just be like, here's a song. There wouldn't be any like,
Yeah.
oh, go pre-order this, go
Right.
pre-save it.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, let's see what see what
SoundCloud.
fire song Trey put out this Friday.
SoundCloud rapper style, just
Yeah.
fucking dropping
Yeah.
them. And living in the house too, I can figure you'd probably in demo jail living with JB, McKinney, and Ella.
Yeah, the thing is just I haven't been home that much lately.
Oh, so like the circulating of
home like
songs.
You
three,
did
home like
break into
3
your own
days
house
and
the
then
other
back
day,
on the
though.
road. Yeah, I did. I climbed in through JB's window.
What?
Got home when I flew home with Bob.
Yeah.
Cody Parks picked me up and brought me to the house, and my keys were inside, so there was nobody home. So I tried to break into every window. The only window that was open was JB. So I like crawled in. I was like, I put this dog crate in front of the window, and then I like jumped in. I was like, oh, this is
So
gonna
that's
hurt.
what the dog crate was doing
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
Locked
I was
out.
wondering what the dog. How the hell did your big ass fit through that window?
Hey man, I'm a superstar breaking into my own house. Just ask my parents. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I just been listening to just like just that, and I listened to there's a record I talked about it on we did a podcast with Craig Campbell, which will come out after this one, but we talked about Alan Jackson, and there's an album he did. It's called like Red on a Rose, and it's like super bluesy. And Sunday on my way back from Nashville, I listened to that whole record. I love that thing. It's awesome, top to bottom. And then still been cranking out some the Jamie Johnson double album. I love that thing. It's awesome. But yeah, pretty much just been listening to my demos and bothering Alex Maxwell about getting my mixes off to this or that. Sometimes it's weird working with your friends because it's like sometimes I feel like all I call him for is to like see where this mix is at or that is.
He's got a girlfriend now. He's too busy for us.
Yeah, Cynthia. She works at WME. So
Oh,
pretty cool.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know she got a job there.
Yeah, she works with the Crystal Pistol.
No shit.
Did you know that my agent is Frank's cousin, first cousin? Frank Glasscock?
I think you did tell me that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
Pretty cool stuff.
Well, one thing about you, Trey, with music, you've always been open to, I mean, like, you know how a lot of kids are like, Mom, that music sucks, you know,
Yeah.
and they always are like, change the channel or, you know, but you've always like whatever I was listening to, sing
Yeah,
along.
like I mean,
Carole
damn
King.
Carole King. Like I love the
You
what is
make
it?
me feel.
The Tapestry album.
Yeah.
That album's iconic.
That was
right?
and
Fuck yeah.
I still go back to
Oh
it.
God, losing my headphones.
I still listen to that.
yeah, I love that album.
And my aunt, turned me on to
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
It was even, older than I was. But
And then we used to do the Dixie Chicks a pretty good bit.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
I love them.
Yeah. I don't know what happened
one-
to the headphones here.
They're playing Bonnaroo
It
this
won't
year.
turn.
Hey, one I heard the other day, Trey, that you and I used to blare on the radio was Garth Brooks in another's
In another's eyes.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Trey, when he was on one,
we-
he'd be like, repeat. Wait, Mom, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
We jammed that coming back in the bandwagon from, I think, South Dakota.
Garth
or wherever we were
Brooks?
coming. Yeah, remember we listened to Garth Brooks' live album? I think you
yeah.
were driving.
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
Let's get Wendy to go to Bonnaroo so we can all see the chicks.
It's not the Dixie Chicks anymore.
I've been listening to that Steve Mokler album.
Dude, that album's great.
I texted you last night, and I
Mokler's
was
the
like-
shit.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm like the thing like with country music now is like, I mean, you got Laney Wilson, well, she's great.
I like her.
She's awesome. We got Priscilla Block on the radio now, which she's awesome. She's a friend of ours.
Don't you want to know?
And then you got like
Bet
Carly
you want to know.
Pierce.
I
and,
like that.
who else do we have on the radio? Country radio, Lindsay L.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like all the like type of like women in country music, like in the 90s you had Pam Tillis and like
Jody Messina.
Faith Hill,
Trisha.
Reba.
the Judds, Reba, like that's all.
Trisha Yearwood.
Trisha Yearwood.
She's one of my
Like
favorites.
that's like what I grew up. If I wasn't,
Shania.
if I wasn't with Dad and we weren't listening to like Clint Black or like Black Hawk or like whatever, Alan Jackson, George Strait, like. When I was with you, we listened to Lori Morgan and like all those great female country artists, and I feel like
wait a minute.
and I feel like all those artists still exist, but they're just not on the radio. Like Ashley McBride, Brandy Clark, like you know
for
what I
sure.
mean. I mean Ashley's on the radio, but you know what
Brandy
I mean. Not
Clark's
like
awesome.
she should be.
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
She's awesome.
But it's like, I don't know how Mom listens to music, but like when I found like Brandy Clark and like, what's the songwriter? Lori McKenna.
Oh,
Like, like when
Chills.
I found those girls, like I sent my mom the Spotify link because, Mom comes from a different generation, not saying that you're like behind the times or anything, but like,
I'm old.
you wouldn't like,
the lot behind St.
you wouldn't
Mary's.
hear that stuff if you didn't see it on the internet or if I didn't send it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I feel like, all those oldies and classics are great, but it's like, we want more of that.
Yes.
So it's like, anytime I hear that kind of stuff, I always send it to you. And I'm just like, why can't that be cool again?
Yeah, you're the reason I went to see Ashley McBride.
Where'd you see her at? Iron City?
No, the Grand Ole Opera.
Oh, that's awesome. I still haven't been there.
It was right before Trey went to Texas, the first tour.
Yeah.
After,
Yeah.
I was going to take Trey, and then he had that come up, the tour. So
Yeah.
we took my sister and her husband.
Had a good old time.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, Mom, thanks for coming on the podcast. I think we've covered all the topics.
I'm thrilled.
I'm glad you're here. Thank y'all for watching my podcast, DM Monday. Please subscribe and share it and tell your friends about it. We'll see y'all later.
Believe in you. She sees the right in all my wrong. She sees the best in everyone. She says I'm right on track, and when I'm not, she brings me back. She sees what only angels can. She sees me better than I am. Every day I'm still trying to be whatever she sees in me. Had a heartbreak, took it real bad. Ended up 6 months in a rehab. Sober was a hard thing till I found a 6 string. Still wish Daddy could have seen that. Yeah, but Mama did.